I know I'm in a minority here, and I'm not talking about the obvious. Relax. No, seriously, I don't want to see a Chrono Trigger HD-2D, 2D HD, whatever you want to call it, 5Ds with Yu-Gi-Oh! And friends. It was a tweet that I seen was about a week or so ago when the announcement or when Square Enix dropped like a sneak bit of something, but really wasn't a sneak bit of anything. It was just really talking about music. And then they start kind of revamping and dropping subtle hints on the 30th anniversary. Can you believe the 30th anniversary of Chrono Trigger, my favorite game, the GOAT game, quite possibly the greatest role-playing game of all time. Pure fantasy and 13 multiple endings. Shout out to Luca. I'm in love with the Luca. I mean, how can you? Do you? Meryl, Luca? Is there even really a cop? All right. She created the story. It wasn't for. All right. We all entitled to have our own favorite characters. But before we go any further, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. I make geekly content here on the channel all the time. And it's free 99, and it really does help channels grow. Just if you didn't know. So Chrono Trigger dropped way back in 1995. I want to say this was the first real RPG that I had played. I played Mario RPG before it, but Mario RPG is still a Mario game. You save the princess and then the story unfolds, which is still my favorite Mario game because it had more story than any other Mario game, I guess, i.e. the RPG part. Plus, this was in the golden age, the golden era of times where Square Enix, which was known as Squaresoft at the time, had already dropped Final Fantasy IV, which I almost said 2, you see. 2 in the States, which was really 4, and 6, Secret of Mana, and Chrono Trigger. So it's not surprising that the game was such a hit and such a great collaboration between Nintendo and Squaresoft at the time. And just right around that same year or 18 months, that bombshell, that Dream Team, Dragon Quest / Warrior, Final Fantasy, Dragon Ball, when all of the entities combine, you get Chrono Trigger, a timeless classic. And going all the way back to the tweet I was talking about that I had seen a couple weeks ago was no remaster with the HD-2D, no CG substitute type graphics. Make Chrono Trigger Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger has already been there, done that when it comes to like the HD-2D. It's not fully HD-2D, but at that time in 1995, there was no other games that looked as gorgeous or as great as Chrono Trigger. I was there. Even with Final Fantasy VI, which was dominating everything and can arguably be said to be 1A and 1B of the SNES games, RPGs, and just games on the console at the time. But there was no replication for Chrono Trigger. Even Chrono Cross, which I don't believe is a sequel, and we can debate on that all we want. I don't care what hippity hoppity boom bing bop bam crap that they tried to tell us, that how they united and the way that they did Scala and then the way that they did certain parts and plot points that made no sense when substituting 40 characters for an actual cohesive story. Anyway, even the sequel, supposedly, that's air quotes, couldn't bring that same Chrono Trigger feeling. Just by doing it at HD-2D is not going to bring any new life into it. The only way Chrono Trigger is going to bring new life into it is with a rehaul of the game. And what I mean, as in rehaul, make the game its own game. It does not have to follow the trends of what all these other games are doing. Matter of fact, the powers that be at Square Enix already said that they didn't want to continue to keep doing HD-2D games, and arguably Chrono Trigger is one of their top IPs. Look at the numbers. Oh, one of the top IPs they just ain't did nothing with. So why revert it back to the 2D HD thing when even Secret of Mana, which, you know, whether you like it or not, got a full graphical overhaul, and the gameplay wasn't the best, but it did look good. And I'm not saying sacrifice Chrono Trigger's gameplay for the graphics. I personally would like to see Chrono Trigger in like its own Dragon Quest 7, or excuse me, not 7, Dragon Quest 11 type of engine. It's that Akira Toriyama art style anyway, who did both the Dragon Quest Warrior original artwork as well as Chrono Trigger. So I would love it to see it more in that type of anime type field, where almost, if you're looking at like Trials of Mana or what was the other one? Visions of Mana, where we can see it doesn't have to be in an open world. It can be in its own set type world where we're still doing the bird's eye view on the camera. What I'm saying is, as big as the IP that Chrono Trigger is, and yeah, I'm biased because it's my favorite damn game. I still got it sitting behind me, and the original poster that came folded inside of the cartridge in the box. I got it. So it is some biasness there, but Chrono Trigger is such a big IP and so important to gaming, to just reduce it down to giving it the HD 2D treatment is a disservice to the IP. More than likely they're gonna do it. It's popular. People like it. They already did it with Dragon Quest. Triangle Strategy is actually one of my favorite recent games. I have to go back and really sit there and write it down and thinking about it. It's one of my favorite strategy-based games as well. So underrated too, but it dropped right in between Elden Ring and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So it's like a gem. Wait some years, a few years, it's gonna be one of them rare games that people are gonna be like, oh shoot, did you play that? Plus the VR game is good too. Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 look really gorgeous, as well as Star Ocean and Live a Live. Like, it revamped Live a Live, and Live a Live already had a good battle system, but paired with the HD 2D, it even made it pop more. But just listen to the list of those right there. None of those games that I even mentioned were on Chrono Trigger's level. Not then, I don't know what I just said, Chrono Trigger's level, then or now. And you could say that's arguable, but the Steam didn't do it justice. And by now, I think we're from the point of no return, where just dropping it on Nintendo or fixing up the game, which they did fix up a lot of patches, fixing up the game and porting it over to other systems is really going to do the game justice. It's been 2001, 2002? When was that? The last time we got a Chrono Trigger game, like an actual game or port of it? What was that, for the DS? The one where you can get Dalton's extra stuff and you see him in the void and everything. But anyway, Chrono Trigger needs to be Chrono Trigger. It's the whole point of this video. It's like making Halo revert to a new type of system, because you haven't seen a game like that in a long time, just because that system is hot and popular right now. I pray to the gaming gods that if we do see anything Chrono Trigger, that it's in its own graphical system and engine, that something that will allow new fans to be happy as well as old. I'm gonna get the game regardless. I'm gonna replay the game, of course. I stream it, I buy it, I play it, I put in for a code, all the above. So I'm just venting my feelings and some of my frustration, because if we look at Chrono Resurrection, what was that, 1999, 2003, around there. There was a fan-made game that Square Enix halted. That game, in my opinion, fits Chrono Trigger better than freaking HD-2D, or even what was supposed to be the sequel, the direct sequel to Chrono Trigger, which was supposed to be Chrono Break, that was going to be done by Square themselves, got scratched. That game, which had Luca and like some other, I think it was Luca, Magus, and like these little robo-bots, which was like the baby robos that we see that Luca creates and stuff, and we even see that in Chrono Cross. That game looked better and looked more in a cohesive type of feel for Chrono Trigger than HD-2D. Because the only thing we're going to see is just the environments that are changed within that game, unless they're going to do drop down in town type things. Because for those of y'all who've played Chrono Trigger, you know you don't go into towns, you'll go into certain areas or buildings like in Zeal or like the Millennial Fair. But as far as like even Chrono's hometown, you don't go into the town, you just go into these houses, which is not bad. But if you're not doing that, where you're able to fully enjoy all of the 2D HD rendering that goes into these towns, like on Octopath, I'm just thinking about the city. When you go into there, I can't remember her name, the thief girls. Oh God, the baddie waifu thief. God, dog. A rose is a thorn. Not Primrose from the first one, but I'm talking about part 2. Anyway, her, if you don't get a town and you're able to see everything like that, it almost feels like, I don't want to say it's a waste of graphics, but it's like, well, I just really want to see Chrono Trigger in its own Chrono Trigger glory, and to be praised and recognized for as one of the greatest games that there is. Even if it's not your favorite game, one of the greatest games that has ever lived. As a matter of fact, if they wanted to, I'd definitely like to see Chrono talk, which, you know, that ain't gonna happen. But again, either way, I'm gonna get it. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you want to see an HD-2D remaster of Chrono Trigger? Have you played Chrono Trigger? You still can get it in some places. There's some places online you can play. Actually, there's some pretty cool places you can play online where you can just actually play the game through an online service online without this free 99. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you did like this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all things games and all things geek, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make geekly content here all the time. And as always in the web, remember to eat, geek, sleep, repeat. I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace. Make Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger.